Hi, crafty friends. Today I will be sharing with you a special project I made using Mama Elephant products. I used Shrinky Dink plastic to make this Yeti pin and attached it to an ATC. This project was really fun because I really love to use my Mama Elephant products in different ways. I will be using the large Yeti image from Me and My Yeti and stamping it onto Shrinky Dink plastic. The Shrinky Dink plastic you need to buy is the sanded or frosted type. Memento Luxe ink is a pigment ink that works really well, and I used my Misty to stamp out the images. I colored the images with these acrylic paint brush markers. The first step is to stamp out the image with this ink, and I found that the Memento Luxe pigment ink worked really well for this type of project. I know a lot of people like to use StazOn ink, but I find that StazOn ink is really harsh on my stamps. When I use Memento Luxe on this, I just make sure that the image dries overnight before I color it. You can use different things to color on shrinking ink paper, but today I am using these paint markers. I find that the acrylic paint markers have a really nice bold color and they're really easy to work with. This brand of paint markers has a brush tip, and it was really nice to work with it because I was able to get into the tiny little spaces to color pretty easily. The only thing with using this brand of markers was that when I was coloring these larger areas, it can look a little bit streaky. So you can see right there, it looked a little bit streaky. You can leave it like that; it looks fine when you shrink it. But I decided to add some texture to the fur and just did these tiny little hash marks, like vertical hash marks, to mimic the texture of the Yeti's fur. Other ways that you can color these shrinky dink images is using colored pencils and also Copic markers or other alcohol markers. If you're using alcohol markers, it's best to color on the shiny or smooth side of the shrinky dink plastic. So in the past, I have stamped on the sanded side and then flipped it over and used my Copic markers to color on the smooth, shiny side. And then once you shrink the shrinky dink image, it will turn out all right. I cut out the Yeti image with the coordinating die, and you can see here a size comparison between the original image and the image after you heat it. It's so cute how small the Yeti becomes. To shrink the Yeti, I am using my heat tool, some tweezers, a trivet, acrylic block, and a ring that is going to prevent the shrinking image from flying around. I start by heating it up until the Yeti starts to curl up. Then I can quickly put it in the little ring and keep heating it until it stops curling and shrinking. Once it's done that, I place an acrylic block on top to flatten it out while it cools. This whole process is really fast and only takes about a minute and a half. Now it's time to put resin on the pins. I covered a piece of cardboard with some parchment paper and lay my pins on top. I'm going to be spraying it with a sealant, and after it's dried, I'll be mixing 2-part epoxy to pour on top. I have labeled my cups ahead of time, and I also have a pipette and popsicle stick to do the mixing in a little cup. The first thing I do is I'm going to pour equal amounts of part A and part B of this 2-part epoxy resin. I know some people will use UV resin, but I don't have a UV light. And also, I feel like the UV resin stuff is a little bit more toxic smelling, so I didn't really want to deal with that. 2-part epoxy works really well, and it's pretty easy to use. So you can see here, I actually had switched out my mixing cup to a little silicone cupcake holder because I felt like my plastic cup was too big for the amount that I poured out. Be sure to follow the instructions on the epoxy resin that you end up buying. But I'm pretty sure that they all work the same. You have to put equal parts of the epoxy and then the hardener and just give it a really good mix. You have to make sure you mix all of it together really well, otherwise, it won't work. After I finish mixing, I tap it gently to get rid of any excess bubbles. I'm going to be using this pipette to apply the resin, and there's a couple of tips that I want to share with you in working with this resin. So the first thing is you can see that this goes directly on top of the pins. There isn't any there aren't any walls around the Yeti. So it's like this free form shape. And you have to be really careful not to have the resin spill over the sides. So the first thing that you want to make sure that you do is to not put too much resin. Um, if you put too much resin, as it dries, it's going to start to ooze over the edges of your pin, and it's very frustrating. The second thing that I've learned in working with this is that you just kind of want to dab, dab, dab. I put a blob, and then I start to kind of move the blob of resin out with my little pipette, and then fill in any spaces that are missing any resin with the tip of the pipette. And I just squeeze out the tiniest bit. Here's a picture of what happens when your resin oozes off the edges of your pin. The way that I dealt with this was to simply use my pipette and suction off the excess resin that oozed over the edges. And I tried also to move the pin to a new spot on the little board so that I can kind of clean up and stop the resin from spilling over. I don't know, it just kept on happening this time that I worked with resin. Not sure why, but I just wanted to give you a warning that this could happen. I let the pins dry for at least 24 hours. Again, just follow the instructions on your epoxy. And I'm going to super glue the pin backs onto my Yetis. I flip them over to the backside and I apply 1 drop of super glue to the pin. And I carefully just stick it on. I center it where I want it and press it down. I'm using my reverse tweezers here because I found it a lot easier to hold onto the pin backs while I put the glue on there. You also see I'm wearing gloves again. I found out the first time when I worked with these pins that uh, it's very easy to super glue your fingers together. So this time I used gloves. To make the artist trading card, I used some Mama Elephant products. I used the artist trading card die, some holographic paper that I picked up from Michael's, scene builder for the trees in the background, and these 2 small images from me and my Yeti. The sentiments came from Spell Abilities. And the little tiny heart that goes in the circle came from Very Good Day. I stamped it all out, colored it, and then now I'm going to poke a hole using one of these tools. I don't know if you remember these things. It was like to punch eyelets into paper. Back in my scrapbooking days, I bought this tool. If you have some sort of pokey tool, you can use that to do the same thing. So what I did was I just put the Yeti pin where I wanted it to be, pressed slightly so I can make a little indentation, and then I took my hammering tool thingy and made a small hole and then poked my pin through. And that's it. This whole process took a few days, but I think it's so worth it and it was a lot of fun to make. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting. Bye.